MyMac Podcast 886. 2.
And welcome, everyone, to the MyMac.com podcast. And it's always exciting when there's an Apple event right around the corner. And while we don't do rumors, he says with air quotes, per se, we do like to speculate on what Apple goodies might be just around the corner. Frankly, it's less immediate than a traffic accident and more trustworthy than, well, idiot analysts popping off about specs of the 2024 iPhone 15. Also, we know when we're wrong and admit it as compared to idiot analysts. Gaz, how are you today?
I am very well. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers and whatever go to the Ukrainian people. That is said, but we are going to continue. And if there's anybody listening for a little smile and a laugh, that's what we're here for, because unfortunately we're unable to change that situation, though we are thinking of you all. I'm good.
There will be links in the show notes for trustworthy, the same as we had last week. Trustworthy places to go to donate. But we're not gonna.
No, we're not gonna go on and on a bit. So no. I'm good, Guy. I'm good. I had to create some training videos for work this week. Time.
Didn't you just start with them like a week and a half ago?
Well, a bit more than that. Probably more like 6 weeks now, actually. It's going past very, very quickly. But I've done some training videos. Yeah, but I'm good, Guy. I'm good. Hey, what can I say? So I spent more time on my Mac than I've done for some time. I made 3 videos, editing them in... I can't remember what the damn screen application is that I use now. Keep going to call it Screenium, but it's not Screenium that I used. It's ScreenFlow.
ScreenFlow. Yeah, I've heard of them.
So
I think I got that one.
Yeah, I've got that, and I've had it for some time. And I use it for quite a bit, but I've done them in ScreenFlow, and it did a good job. And so basically, I did lots of transitions in it, and then I exported it, and then brought it back in, and then did the voiceover. But I added snippets of voiceovers. See what
clever.
Clever. And that came in handy because I then pushed it out to a few people just to watch, and they went, "Oh, Gary, could you just change this slightly and change that? Oh, we know it's difficult." And I went, "Oh, okay." But quite luckily, I duplicated some of the voiceovers, so I was able to change it and then just move it into the other videos, almost like I was a professional guy, almost. And at one point, almost that close, almost at one point, I was rendering all 3 videos the same time on my Mac Mini, and it handled
2 in 1 week.
It handled it. God blimey, governor! It handled it easily. So good. How about you,
Mary Poppins? I don't even know what the hell accent that was.
Oh, Mary Poppins!
It's Mary Poppins. Good old Dick Van Dyke. I think he's still alive.
Is he? Blimey.
I think he's like in his 90s or something.
Well, he's doing well then. It's all.
I thought that
they do say chimney sweeps. If you have a chimney sweep in your house, apparently it's quite lucky. So there you go.
Well, we're actually going to have to have some like work done in our chimney, but that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
No.
I went to. You remember the conversation I had, and if you listened to the after show, you would have heard the conversation I had with Guy Jr. last week, and it was an interesting conversation. But we went down. Tracy and I went down to see him and his girlfriend Ashley yesterday. And they set up the whole day. They set up the entire day. So we got there and then we went to lunch at a bowling alley. And I know that sounds like
we have them over here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, usually you don't think of a bowling alley as a place to go.
You're not.
I need a place to go for lunch.
You're not expecting excellent cuisine. Let's put it.
Well, it wasn't excellent cuisine, but it wasn't. When you think of a bowling alley, you're thinking like, deep fried hamburgers
and chips,
stuff like everything is deep fried. You want a milkshake, it's deep fried. I mean, that's just the way it works.
Yeah. But
the food was
going to Glasgow and getting a deep fried Mars bar. That's the sort of thing.
Yeah. It was actually remarkably good. I don't remember because Guy and his girlfriend are like on a non-meat thing right now. And it's like, okay. Yeah. Both Tracy and I got pizzas and all the food that we got, because we kind of sampled off everyone's trays, plates, whatever. And it was all pretty good.
Trays.
Though the bowling alley the bowling itself was disappointing.
So there are different qualities of bowling alley in your.
There are. In this, if you've been to a bowling alley in the past, and by in the past I mean 20 to 40 years ago,
right?
They were big smoke-filled rooms, which thankfully you can't smoke in them anymore, which is really good because I certainly don't need that temptation anymore. But there is a standard regulation length and width for a bowling alley. But the tendency now for bowling is the bowling is almost secondary. It's a destination. So you do get better food, but the lanes aren't as long and they aren't as wide. And they have like all these flashing lights everywhere. And it's very distracting. And none of us bowled particularly well, and neither did anybody else that was anywhere near us, but they didn't seem to care. So it was like,
cool. Never mind. So did you do anything else?
We went putt-putt golfing through a faux-tel. And
faux-tel.
It will be a faux-tel. There will be more. Actually, the place that we went is going to be my pick this week. So there'll be more on that later. Okay. We had a blast. That was definitely, and I know when you said putt-putt golfing was the highlight of your day, it was not a great day. But in this case, it was a lot of fun. We had such a good time. And of course, just being there with Guy and Ashley made it fun anyway.
Cool.
So that was basically what was going on with yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And oddly enough, anyone who lives in the Northern Virginia area and has to drive in any direction out of the Northern Virginia area knows that traffic in this area sucks. Right. It's probably not as bad as London. Well, still sucks. Because I don't think there's anything as bad as London. Maybe Cairo, but not.
I don't know.
London is pretty bad.
Paris can be pretty bad as well. So all big.
I never drove in Paris.
Okay. Yeah,
but I did almost get hit by a car several times in Cairo. Well, and London too, for that matter.
Yeah.
Because I don't look in the right direction, but that's neither here nor there either.
No. No, you Americans don't always look in the right direction.
We don't. It's like, well, there's no cars coming this way. Step. Wow.
Must be clear.
Must be clear.
Okay, I'm going to jump straight into snippets because we've got to be fairly sharpish today. I know last week was a long show. We're not trying to make up for that by having a short show. It's just we're on a tight schedule day. We're just on a tight schedule day. So I'm going to jump straight in. That means Gazzy snippets.
Yes.
I just want this to continue because I now like saying Apple now hit with a 6 antitrust fine over the Dutch dating apps payments. 6. That's brilliant. Love it. Love it. Keep going. Now, apparently, longtime Apple reporter Jim Dalrymple retires after 30 years from the Dalrymple Report podcast, though the podcast actually continues. 30 years, guy. The reason I put this in was, one, I think everybody knows about this guy, but equally, I'm not sure I want to do 30 years.
Well, I mean, we've gone for 11, so we're like 1/3 of the way there.
I know.
However, to be fair, 20 years from now, I'm going to be in my 80s. So, do you really want to be talking to me then? I don't know if you want to be talking to me now.
I'm not sure. I don't think it'd matter then, because we won't remember the last week. So
About
every
what?
week is better than the previous one or whatever it is. Anyway, Apple on a Russian invasion of Ukraine. All product sales paused. RT and Sputnik News apps pulled. Tim Cook to email employees about Ukraine. I did have the email, but you can go out and find that, folks, if you want to read it. The Ukraine crisis puts Apple unsustainable dependence on China in the spotlight. I agree with that. I think that really does give them a bit of a, not only they're putting a big stake in the ground about Russia, and there's lots of people who've got equal concerns about China's position in the world. So we'll have to see what happens on that. They've got a little bit more tied into China, of course. So we'll wait and see. Apparently, and we may or may not be talking about this later on because I haven't yet checked the second section out. That's bad of me. Although you did say we're going to talk about something which might be happening. Apple have officially announced the March 8th event. It's called Peak Performance. Might be a watch coming. Might be a Mac Mini coming. There could be loads of stuff. We'll talk in the second section. There's a load of merch coming out as well. Special wallpapers. I just
special
for the event. For the event, so they've come.
Well, I know they had like a VR thing.
Yeah, well, no, they've come out with some websites now come out with wallpapers for the 8th March event. I mean,
really?
Come
this
on,
is my
folks.
reaction to that.
Yeah, and for those not watching the video, guys just hung himself. Apple has launched,
which means you should watch the video.
You should. Though he's still talking, so don't watch it for long. Apple has launched the inaugural entrepreneur camp for Latin founders. Okay.
I thought that was a dead language.
I'm not going to say. I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to leave you hanging because it's much better to leave you hanging in that position. Wordle ripoffs are a wrong. I'm trying to rush, and I really shouldn't. By the way, those videos that I did voiceovers. And again, somebody has said, I don't speak the way I speak here. I do nice and slow. And it's like really proper BBC voiceover. And a few people, like butter. And people have said, you've got a great voiceover voice, Gary. And I said, yeah, that has been said before. But when I rush, it doesn't. Wordle ripoffs are running rampant on the App Store again.
What?
Well, there's a surprise. Republicans have pushed Apple and the FBI on potential civil liberty violations over Pegasus,
which they had nothing to do with. And also they were pushing Apple to make open iOS, which would have made that even worse.
Okay, you've done
Politicians and tech is like oil and water. They do not mix.
I think that the person, company, or governing body is putting at risk my ability to be able to choose a secure and reliable environment that I have chosen. So, person, company, or governing body, if you want to play that silly game, I, along with I'm sure a lot of other people, will continue to call you nasty, horrible people for putting my security at jeopardy. Apparently, Apple are dropping mask mandates for the retail and corporate employees. Well,
everybody else is. That's not a big surprise.
Yeah. That one I've already done, so I should have been quicker and sorted that one out. Apple Maps now says Crimea is part of Ukraine, except if you're in Russia.
Well, it won't matter. Because aren't they turning off their servers as well?
Well, maybe. Dropbox release official update for its macOS app with M1 support. About time. Apple sets April 11th deadline for the US employees return to office. So that was just to carry on with the date, really. Apple making it easier for customers to donate to those in Ukraine. So there's an easy way if you go onto their website to be able to donate.
Would you put a link to that?
Yes, I can send you the link to that one.
Okay, thank you.
Apple shareholders have voted for third-party civil rights audits in contrast to board recommendation. However, Guy, the Apple shareholders have approved the CEO Cook's annual compensation third-party civil rights. I've mash two things together there. So so they they vote for the third party civil rights, and they've voted for Mr. Cook's pay compensation,
because they would be idiots if they didn't.
Well, yeah, what they call,
this is not the time to be looking at getting a new CEO.
Spite one's face instead of 9 to 5 Mac happy hour 371 Apple peak performance event. Expect long-term Apple Watch appeal and rumored 2022 features. It's next week, folks. Have a bit of fun with this rather than trying to be all serious. Even though
we're going to be talking about that in the
but I think we're going to be a bit
section.
I think we're going to be a bit funny about it, aren't we? Really, nobody takes us serious. And these two things they're both things that we're going to be talking about. One is evidence of the M2 silicon chip, and also Apple completed development on the external display months ago. So I'm sure we'll be talking about that.
Of course they did. If they're getting ready to announce it's not like, let's do an announcement where we talk about this new product that we're going to be coming out.
We're going to have a rocket, an Apple rocket.
The Apple rocket.
Yes.
Will it actually work when we start to make it?
We don't know. But
it'll be available for sale next week.
That's the end of Gaz's snippets. However, I did have a quick bit of a serious one, but it's a Gaz's link, which is basically BBC not available in Russia. However,
shocker,
the BBC have pointed Russians to the Tor version of itself. That I found quite revealing and quite amusing, actually. The BBC is sending Russians to a Tor site to be able to get access to the BBC website. Well done, BBC. That's all I'm going to say. And that's the end. Go on then.
Well, I was going to say, as far as news and information in a country that is pretty much closed off right now, you just do like what Voice of America did, and you set up big, huge transmitters just outside of their territory and blast it in anyway.
Absolutely. That's the end of Gaz's link. Do you want to take us out? Or shall I?
Sure, everyone. Wow. Everyone, please stand by. Wait, hold on. I need to put my glasses on.
Well, can't you read it? Oh, nice. Oh, this is...
Everyone stand by. To stand by. Oh, it's so blurry. And we will be right back.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to part 2. That's 2 for anybody not speaking French. Like you didn't understand what I said. Just a quickie. I mentioned the Apple making it easier for customers to donate to those in Ukraine. It's basically a UNICEF link at the top of Apple's webpage in the US. Now, in the UK, it hasn't got it. So I'm a bit confused by that, but actually in the US, at the top of the Apple webpage, there is a link to UNICEF, or there was on the version that I looked at. So hopefully that'll sort that one out for you, Guy.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to jump straight into all of the wonderful things that we think might happen?
Yeah. I got to get back to it. There we go. So what is our predictions about Apple's peak performance event on Tuesday the 8th? I'm sure it's going to be something weird, wonderful, and totally incorrect.
Well, I've just scanned what you've put, and I'm going to comment at the end of each of it because I disagree with every single one.
Good. That's what I always like to hear. My unsolicited and unpaid predictions. Number 1, I do believe that the M2 is going to be announced.
No, it's going to be the M3.
The M3. As compared to trying to get into London, in which case you should be on the M5.
No. The M3 does go into London.
Oh, okay. No. The M5 was the Duotronic computer that tried to blow up the Enterprise in Star Trek.
No, that goes
Got it.
past.
I
No,
always mix those up.
that goes from Birmingham down to Bristol.
The M5 supercomputer does?
Well, it does if it's on the M5 in the UK traveling down to Bristol from Birmingham. Yes.
Okay. So glad we've got that cleared up. All right,
Yeah,
next.
yeah. Clear as crystal.
Clear as crystal. I think there's going to be not a MacBook Air, not a MacBook Pro, but just a plain MacBook as a new design, either 12 or 13 inches in multiple colors, running a plain Jane M1. Yes, no, maybe so.
No, I'm thinking they're going to be killing off the plain old MacBook and going with the MacBook Air.
Well, they don't have a MacBook right now. They have the MacBook Air.
Yeah, well, they're going to. Okay, so you're wrong. They're not going to be coming out with a MacBook.
Well, I would like to see the MacBook Air go away in favor of a newly designed MacBook. I think people
what looks like a MacBook Air.
No, but it'll fill that slot. Okay. I think the obsession that that Johnny Ives had with everything being so super thin.
Yes, but that is a superb machine. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think they're going to come out with a MacBook.
Okay, well then here's my next one. Multiple colors, 27 or 32-inch iMac with the aforementioned M2 processor.
Not the multicolor.
I think they already did it with the 24.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think they'll do it with the larger one. Because I think they'll try and make the larger one more of a not the Pro, but more of a Pro machine.
Well, something's going to come with a lot of colors, and
why have you seen a load of paint pots going into Cupertino?
Well, just based on the graphic that they had.
Yeah,
I think something that they're going to announce on Tuesday is going to come in multiple colors.
You know. That's the problem. People base their predictions on the graphic.
What graphic?
What graphic?
Yeah, graphic. I just made all that up.
Yeah.
Next up, I think there's going to be a new design Mac Mini, not with an M2, but with an M1 Pro or Max. That I think they're holding off the M2 on the consumer line until it's a little more, what's a good word, established. That the M2, I think, will start with the larger iMac, and I don't have it written here, but the eventual Mac Pro, I think, is going to have M2s. And lastly,
I don't think they'll be bringing out a new Mac Mini.
You don't think so?
No.
There's been a lot of talk of it, and honestly, I have thought about this, and of course, my track record for saying I'm not going to buy this is terrible, because if you recall, when the M1s were first coming out, and I was saying, well, I'm very happy with the 27-inch iMac that I have that's Intel, and I'm not going to buy a first generation M1 product. And then 3 to 4 weeks later, I had an M1 Mac Mini. So my track record in that regard is not the best. But I do, unless there is like something super, super compelling about a new Mac Mini, whether it comes out on Tuesday or not, it has to be more than just a few more ports to make me buy one. Because,
agreed.
Quite honestly, you have the M1 Mac Mini as well.
Yeah.
These things are crazy fast. They burn. Yeah. They burn through audio. They burn through video.
As I said, I had three videos that I was rendering, and it just handled it fine. All at the same. I was rendering them all at the same time. No problem.
Yeah, but I bet those fans were spinning like crazy.
Couldn't hear it.
No, they weren't.
No, couldn't hear
it. These are super quiet machines.
Yeah.
And
lastly,
the last thing I have, and this may, if it's true, this may also come in multiple colors. The 3rd gen iPhone SE, maybe with USB-C connectivity and 5G.
Yes, 5G. That's where I was going to disagree, not disagree, but add the 5G bit. So
okay,
yeah.
But I think Apple is pretty much done with the Lightning cable, and it would make so much sense at this point to start transitioning everything away, all their mobile devices away from Lightning and onto God, I just said it, USB-C.
Yeah, the poorer relation USB-C.
Yeah. Because it just there's absolutely no reason why not. It's a slightly bigger connector, but as we were talking about earlier, Johnny Ives is no longer with the company, so nobody cares if it's minusculely more thicker than it was before. All right. Now, if any of this is true,
well, can I? Oh yeah, go on. I'll let you finish.
I was just going to say that other than a Mac Pro, an M series Mac Pro, which I do not believe that they're even going to talk about on Tuesday, this will pretty much complete Apple's transition to the M series of processors.
Yeah.
What would be left? Mac Pro. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that's left.
And I don't have this in the notes, but I would like to get your opinion on this.
Uh-oh.
I was seeing a video on YouTube where somebody was making a prediction.
Wasn't me.
No, it wasn't. It was not you. Though they did speak very well. On an eventual M series Mac Pro. And what they said was, well, when the M2 comes out, this Mac Pro will have multiple M2 processors. And I thought about that. And it's like, part of the whole reason why Apple went down this route was because, number one, the only way to get that kind of performance using x86 was to have multiple processors.
Yeah.
Whereas the M2 basically has multiple processors on a single die, not just cores, but processors on a single die.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can take multiple M series processors, put them on the same board, and get the kind of performance boost that you would get with x86. However, it also isn't nearly as important based on the performance that not only you and I, but a lot of other people in the creative fields have seen using M series processors.
Did you just call us creatives?
Yes. I'm sorry to all the other creatives out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was being facetious, to use a word that my son Guy likes a lot.
Yes.
That's all I got. What do you think?
What I was going to say, I'm doing the show with Mike on Tuesday, his live reaction show, which he normally does. And I said that I was going to disagree with all of your points. I'm probably going to steal them and use them in that show. So.
And then I was stupid enough to have them written down so you can just copy and paste.
Okay. I'm nodding my head. I agree with you.
Oh, very good.
Hit it. Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
It's time for
Gaz's tips. You'll have to tell me when the music's finished because I couldn't hear that.
Really? Well, it's done.
Okay. So, Gaz's tip. Here it comes. Have you ever, Guy, gone into your system preferences? Have you ever gone onto dock and menu bar within the system preferences? And have you had a look on the left-hand side and scrolled down to something called menu bar only? And beneath that, it says clock. Well, guess what? In there, you can make a few adjustments to the clock. Not a great deal, but you can make a few adjustments to the clock in your menu bar. But there is one which people may not have noticed, and it will suit some people and not others. There is an option to announce the time. Now, when you click on this, you then have the option to say on the hour, on the half hour, or on the quarter hour, and you can customize the voice. That might suit some, and it may not suit everyone. But it's there, and that's my tip. Hit it. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's the end.
I know you can't hear it because StreamYard has put everything on AirPods. I wanted it to go.
Let me finish.
Gaz's tips.
Burp. Bonk. Gaz, you are absolutely right. There.
Thank you.
I had to sing along with it. Yeah, for whatever. Now, people watching and or listening won't know that before we started to record this show, I was having a hell of a time getting all of the outputs from the various things going that I wanted to go to the various other things. Yes, and I thought I had it all right. But when Gaz said that he couldn't hear Farrago, I went into StreamYard and checked, and it's picking up, and my audio in this probably sounds terrible because it's using my AirPod as a microphone, and it's using AirPod as speakers going out. So it's not giving you all of the goodness that it should be. And at this point, I'm not going to change it because it could just screw everything up. So when I go to edit the video for this show, it's going to be a royal pain in the ass because I won't be able to use the StreamYard audio at all. Thank you, StreamYard. Thank you, Loopback. Thank you, Hindenburg. Thank you, Farrago. Thank you, Google Chrome. Thank you, Apple.
I think there's your problem. All of those devices that you're trying to put together, Guy.
Yeah, they're kind of like, we could really screw with Guy this week, and we will. So, and usually it's so smooth.
For the listeners, maybe.
Yeah. After I sit there and sweat the details and trying to make everything work. Okay, well, we're going to get right off of that because I know we're on a time limit. I have a pick this week, Gaz, and
go for it.
It's going to be a difficult one to describe. It's the Hotel Green in Richmond, Virginia, for a great place to stay. I mean, play putt-putt golf. Now, that may sound weird, and it is weird because
it is
what this company did. They took a building in downtown Richmond that was pretty much just closed down completely. They outfitted the bottom part of the building to look like a hotel. So you've got a lobby, you've got a hotel bar, you've got some bathrooms, and then you've got this long meandering corridor that kind of goes through the entire bottom part of the hotel, except the long meandering corridor, instead of going to rooms and restaurants and all the rest of that, is a putt-putt course. Oh, putt-putt golf. So you've got some that looks like you're at a corridor that goes down with all these rooms, and you've got to like bank it off this one open door to get it to where the hole is. It's really odd. They've got one, you actually go through a bathroom, and not a real bathroom, but you go through like a guest room, bathroom, and a guest room to these two different holes. And it's weird and it's wonderful. And the next time I go to Richmond, I hope to be able to do it again. It was not super cheap. Sorry, it was not super expensive is what I meant to say. It's more expensive than a typical putt-putt course experience, but it's just so weird and wonderful that I really loved it. It was probably one of the highlights of yesterday, besides seeing Guy and Ashley, was playing in this Fotel putt-putt course that went all the way through this little building. It's Hotel Green. There'll be a link in the show notes if you want to go and check it out. If you live near Richmond, you've got to try this. It's a lot of fun. And the wait staff is very, very good. The drinks were good. And all in all, it was just a really neat experience, and I enjoyed it.
Cool.
You don't have anything, do you?
No.
Okay, well, then we're going to move on from that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We have some not email feedback. We have some audio feedback.
Ooh.
From Greg kindly, who seems to be the only consistent person that knows how to use our Skype number, which we will talk about later on. And we love you for it, Greg. Thank you so much. Here's the first one. And Oh, and for the people who don't remember, he was the one that won our random drawing for the bumper contest last week.
Hey guys, Greg from North Carolina. I just wanted to thank you for bestowing upon me this wonderful honor. I'd like to thank the Academy and all the little people
really
I had to step on to get to where I am today. You said my prize would be a $50 Apple card or the gift card of my choice. I will choose option B, and the gift card of my choice will be a $10,000 Apple gift card. So just send me an email. Let me know when I can expect that to be delivered. Thanks again.
Brilliant, Greg. Brilliant.
Thank you, Greg, even though Gaz couldn't hear it. Here's the next one.
Oh, sugar. Who's this one from?
This is from Greg, and he's he's talking about the English language that we have differences on.
Can't believe there were any.
Hey guys, Greg from North Carolina again. Since my message from last week sort of sparked a bit of a spelling discussion, I will tell you that as a teacher, I teach business courses primarily, and
teacher of
one
business
of the courses that I taught one semester was entrepreneurship. I still don't think I can actually spell that.
He can't spell that either.
With any degree of regularity. But
brilliant.
I've got
Brilliant.
a
I love
degree.
it.
Mine is a computer
You're
science
such a
degree.
hoot, Greg.
Spelling in
Such
English,
a hoot.
American English, or British English just has never made sense to me.
Doesn't make sense to
Why is there
him.
a G in baloney?
Why is there a G in baloney?
And anyone who says that spelling
that's
in
not
English
our problem.
makes sense,
That's the Italians' problem.
I look at them somewhat askance. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.
And here's the last one.
You wake up with a dead horse under your door.
That's right. Baloney. That's what it'll be made of. And you got to talk like this. When you speak French, it's you hold your hand
move
up.
On.
You go like this a lot. Okay.
Move on.
Yeah, we I don't think we've pissed off the Italians enough. So now we're working our way across Europe, folks. That's what we're doing right here. All right, here's the last one from Greg, basically saying that the nut doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to Guy Jr. Yes, Greg.
Guy, the apple doesn't fall
The
far
apple does
from the
not fall
tree.
far from the tree when it comes to my son and me. How many times my wife yesterday was like, Guy, just stop. I get enough of that from your father. It's like, nope, still got to deal with it. Let me get back to my show notes because everything is all messed up. God, I wish I'd known that Farrago wasn't working for you. If you would like to help support the train wreck that is the MyMac.com podcast and Guy's Daily Drive, all you have to do is go on over to patreon.com/MacParrot, coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. Nothing is working today, folks. Nothing. We shot our load last week. Or go to PayPal. Yeah, no, I'm not going there. PayPal.me to pay a pal /MacParrot. Now, Gaz, if people wanted to get a hold of you and say, why doesn't Guy check these things before you actually start to record? How would they do so?
Well, they could do so, but it was a bit of a rush today, so I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. You can send an email to Gaz, G-A-Z, at mymac.com, or on the Twitters, twitter.com/GazMazJZ. A-Z. You can also send a Twitter on the Twitters to Guy and Gaz. Twitter.com/Guy and Gaz, GUYANDGAZ. You can also send an email to feedback@mymac.com, FEEDBACK at mymac.com.
Guy says,
what does he say?
He's the guy.
Well, he might say that, but he's not really, is he?
Guy's the one.
Well, if you say so.
Guy.
Guy what?
His name was Guy.
Well, I know his name was Guy. I just know it.
Guy was paid his 75 grand.
He may well have done.
Do you
But
know it was a guy?
we do know it was a guy.
I like to go with Guy.
I like to go with Guy as well.
You remember Guy?
You remember Guy? Yes. Well, if you want.
An email from Guy.
No fooling.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Tell them how, Guy. Tell them how.
Oh, all you would have to do is send me an email to guy@mymac.com or podcast@vertshark.com.
Oh.
Vertshark.com is the website that you can see all the odds and the vids. You can go to YouTube, look up Vertshark there, and then like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. It's all you got to do, and you'll get all the vids that come out of the Guy's Daily Drive feed. Twitter is MacParrot and or Vertshark, and or you can do them both if you want. So that would be weird. What else? I think that's it. Okay. The Skype telephone number is like, if you would like to leave a Skype message that Gaz won't be able to hear because I screwed up on getting the audio set up this week, all you'd have to do is dial 1 or +1 outside the United States, 703-436-9501, or you can still 1 or +1. God, what's wrong with me? 1 or +1.
You're flusterated.
I'm very flusterated. 703-436-9501, or take the 1 and the +1 and give it a dirty look and say, I will never, ever use you again, and go right to the Skype app and just dial 703-436-9501. Yes. And on that note, I would like to say thank you. Thank you all for joining us today on the 601st, which I will not say this every single week, 601st episode of the MyMac.com podcast with Gaz and myself. We are only 14 shows away from the 900th MyMac.com podcast. So get your bumpers in, folks, for the next podcast.
Yes.
Oh,
brilliant.
My God.
Brilliant. Yes.
So, and who knows, maybe we'll, something we haven't done in a long time is get like some of the other former hosts of the MyMac.com podcast. Maybe we'll do that for the 900th show. That would be fun.
Yeah. Because it's a MyMac one. Yeah.
Cool. So, having said all that, Kaz, I think that we're good enough.
We are good enough.
We're so good that it's scary. And that we're smart enough, and we're not scary smart, not in the slightest. And that doggone it, Wilf saw all those great pictures of Wilf that you had over there on the Book of Faces. People and Wilf probably likes us.
Velimo Apple, I Nijihovi, Proe Zavodi, I Zilimomi, Da Rade Vize, Gloopy, Analyticari.
Oh, so good. So very good.
Guy, did you hear the rumor about butter?
No. Are you going to spread it?
I'm not going to spread it.
Was that the punchline?
Yeah. What did one hat what did one hat say to the other? Stay here, I'm going on ahead. End.
I got one this week.
You did.
Bye.
So you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on home and go home.